Welcome to Fan for Racing Radio. I'm Fan for Racing Sharon, and joining me today is Jay Huseman, and we are here for our preview for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. So a lot to look forward to in this race. And again, second of the round of 8, so that'll be fun.
And it is still about the big one, and I say that for a couple of reasons. Not necessarily going to see it on the track, but odds are, because it is Talladega, the big track, 2.5-mile track. What we got here for the United Rentals 250, 38 drivers and teams for the 38 spot, so nobody going to miss it, and it is a full field. We have some very notables in this one. Alpha Prime, the number 5 is going to be Cesar Baccarella. The number 07, Nick Lights, we've seen that several times throughout the season. The number 11 for Colleague Racing for the next 3 races is going to be your ARCA Menard Series champion, Brendan Queen. Then we got Garrett Smithley in the number 14. The number 19, and I think this is for the rest of the year, Eric Almirola going to try and help Joe Gibbs Racing get that owner's championship. The number 32 for a cell phone team, Jordan Anderson, and I'm sure he's got some redemption on his mind when it comes to Talladega. Sharon mentioned this. We see it limited, but the number 35, that'll be David Starr. The number 45 is going to be Josh Williams. The 53, Joey Gase. The number 70 this week will be Leland Honeyman Jr. Mike Harmon Racing, the number 74, everything we found was TBA, so we don't know that one yet. Mason Maggio in the number 91. And then the number 99, Viking Motorsports, was a change. They have released Matt DiBenedetto. Connor Mozak going to be in that for the final 3 races of the year.
All right. Looks like a good entry list, and definitely a lot to look forward to there.
I do think it's going to be an exciting one, and that's all playoffs, everything else aside. It's Talladega. I mean, what race have we seen at Talladega that's not exciting in some form or fashion?
Exactly right. All right, they're going to be racing the United Rentals 250 at Talladega Superspeedway. Again, it's a 2.66-mile asphalt oval, and the race is on Saturday, October the 18th, starting at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. It'll be on the home network, the CW, and they will carry pre-race coverage starting at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, as well as on MRN and SiriusXM NASCAR Channel 90. They will race a distance of 250.04 miles over 94 laps. First 2 stages are 25 laps each. Stage 1 ending on lap 25. Stage 2 will end on lap 50. And then the final stage will be 44 laps ending on lap 94. Where are you going to watch this weekend? On Saturday, October the 18th, they'll have the practice and Kennemental pole qualifying on the CW app starting at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. And then the race, as I mentioned earlier, will start at 4 p.m. If you want to catch the pre-race coverage, you want to tune in at 3:30. So, Jay, we've got a lot to talk about here.
Well, I got to start with an apology. I actually shorted Talladega. I said 2.5 mile. That's Daytona. Talladega is 2.66. So my bad. I tried to shorten it a little bit there. Now, this weekend, though, does mark the 38th running of a NASCAR Xfinity Series race at Talladega Superspeedway.
Talladega has been on the Xfinity Series schedule every year since their inaugural race in 1992.
And Talladega has hosted 4 playoff races for the Xfinity Series, coming in 2020, 21, 22, and then 2024.
And all 4 previous Talladega playoff races were in the round of 12.
We talked about this being the middle race in the round of 8. We had Las Vegas, now going to have Talladega, and then Martinsville will wrap it up.
And the lowest 4 drivers in points will be eliminated after Martinsville. So you got 4 above and 4 below.
And no drivers are clinched into the championship 4 yet at Las Vegas, as Eric Almirola, non-playoff driver, won last week at Vegas.
And he's in the race again this week, so that's going to be interesting. Any win in the round of 8 by a playoff driver will advance them into that championship for the championship race at Phoenix.
And here's a big factor with that non-playoff win in that first race. At least two drivers will advance to the championship 4 on points.
Any driver who leaves Talladega 57 points above 4th place will clinch a spot into the championship 4 on points.
And that should put Connor Zilisch in a good position. He enters Talladega 74 points above that 4th place after the runner-up finish at Las Vegas. So win or not, I think Connor Zilisch does lock himself in.
And then Justin Allgaier, he's entering Talladega 36 points above 4th place after his 3rd place finish at Las Vegas.
Now, he's another one, could do it, not as much as I think a guarantee as Connor Zilisch, but we'll see how it plays out. Now, we got Sam Mayer in 4th and Brandon Jones in 5th are separated by 8 points. All the other drivers are at least 20 points above or below the cutoff line. So a little bit broader gap here in the Xfinity Series than we saw in the trucks.
Yes, but before that race at Las Vegas, they were just like the trucks, extremely tight in the points. They separated themselves, I think, at Las Vegas. Now, Justin Allgaier and Sam Mayer are the only remaining playoff drivers to have made the championship 4 previously.
So we talked about that. A lot of new drivers getting into the playoff or into the championship 4. I like that. And Sharon and I talked about this. There actually are 2 rookies remaining in playoff contention. One of them we're going to talk a lot about, Connor Zilisch, phenomenal season, but also Carson Kvapil.
And no driver has won race number 2 in the round of 8 and then gone on to win the championship. So that's an interesting stat as well.
And it parallels with the track itself, as no driver has won the Talladega playoff race and gone on to win the championship. So that's 2 strikes against him at this point, statistically speaking.
Now, 4 teams are represented in the round of 8. That would be Junior Motorsports. They have 4 entries. Haas Factory Team has 2 entries. And then Joe Gibbs Racing and Richard Childress Racing each have 1 driver in the round of 8.
And I talked about a little bit about this just off the entry list. Joe Gibbs Racing, number 19, did advance to the Owners' Championship 4 with Eric Almirola's Las Vegas win. Almirola will be in the number 19 for the rest of the season to try and wrap up and secure that championship on the owner's side.
Okay, it's Joe Gibbs Racing's number 19. Richard Childress Racing's number 21 are still alive in owners playoff, while Junior Motorsports number 1 and 8 were eliminated after the round of 12. So those are the 2 drivers or 2 teams to watch as it relates to the owners championship playoffs.
Oh, I did not realize that. Real quick, Sharon, here for Austin Hill in that number 21, was that they took away the drivers' playoff points, but maybe not the teams. Because I didn't realize that the 20, I didn't realize the 21 was still in the owners' championship.
Let me look at the owners' points here. He's showing 27 playoff points. So they did
on the
not
owner's
take
side.
those away on the owner's side. That's interesting.
I did not realize that. We all learned something tonight. How about that?
Yeah.
All right. Now, Eric Almirola's Las Vegas win was his 3rd of the 2025 season, and that matches his win total from last year. Again, he's running part-time.
All right. And Eric Almirola has won 4 of the last 11 playoff races as non-playoff driver.
And that leads to Joe Gibbs Racing. They won 3 of the 4 playoff races after only winning 2 races in the regular season. Part of that with the non-playoff driver, but the races were still in the playoffs.
Exactly. Okay, Talladega is the 6th and final drafting track of the season for the Xfinity Series. And I think for all series, for that matter.
Yes, indeed, as we're all paired up now. And speaking of Austin Hill, he won the Talladega race in April. That's his series record 9th career drafting track win. but it was his first at Talladega.
And Austin Hill is the only driver in the series history to win at all 3 drafting tracks. He's got 5 at Atlanta, 3 at Daytona, and 1 at Talladega.
Huh, I thought he had more at Daytona than Atlanta. How about that? Now, this is interesting. The last 7 Talladega races were won by 7 different drivers.
Yeah, going back to Austin Hill, I believe Atlanta is his home track too.
Yep, it is. He is from somewhere there in Georgia.
Okay, now Sheldon Creed and Jeb Burton each finished top 10 in the last 4 Talladega races, one away from tying the Talladega record. Oh, that's kind of cool for those drivers.
And that may not seem like a big feat, but you're talking about Talladega where anything can happen of your own doing or not.
Yes.
So, yeah, to finish in the top 10 on a regular basis is a good thing.
It is.
Now, 2 of the 8 playoff drivers finished in the top 10 at Talladega in April. That was Jesse Love, who finished 3rd. Well, it says 2 of the 8. There's 3 listed. Love was 3rd. Jesse Love was 3rd. Justin Allgaier was 4th. And Sheldon Creed was 9th.
All right. And Richard Childress Racing won 3 of 5 drafting track races this season.
That is certainly their bread and butter.
It is.
Now, 3 of the last 5 Talladega races have had a last lap pass for the win.
And 15 Talladega races had last lap passes for the win. Daytona has the most with 16.
In 3 of the last 6 drafting tracks, all the races featured a last lap pass for the win. That's what makes the super speedway or drafting style tracks that exciting.
It is. Now, 5 active drivers won in the Xfinity Series at Talladega, and that's led by Jeb Burton, who has 2 wins.
All right, way to go, Jeb. Now, looking at Austin Hill and Jesse Love, they've combined to lead 340 laps on the drafting tracks this season. 49 other drivers combined to lead 329. So those 2 are your front runners, both of them being Richard Childress Racing drivers.
Yes, and Richard Childress Racing won 11 of the last 22 drafting track races. That's a 50% win percentage.
And this is interesting as we get into Connor Zilisch, and I was just thinking about that, if he got a win at Daytona but wasn't really him. But Connor Zilisch is returning to the track where he had broke his back in the last lap crash in April, had to take a week off, and then went on an absolute tear with his top 5 finishes since then.
Yes. He's also got his 10th win of the season at the Charlotte Roval. He is the 6th driver in series history to win 10 races in a season, and the first since Kyle Busch did so in 2016. So he's on the level of a Kyle Busch, and I'd say maybe even just a tick better.
And he is certainly setting some records, as after winning the Charlotte Roval, Connor Zilisch now holds the track record as the youngest winner on 10 different tracks.
Amazing. And it doesn't end there. Zilich's 10 wins this season is the record for most wins by a rookie. Hard to believe that he is a rookie in this series.
And I mentioned that streak because Zilisch extended his all-time top 5 finish record streak to 18 after his runner-up finish there at Las Vegas.
And he hangs on to that 2.1 average finished in the last 18 races, which is the best in series history in an 18-race span. 2.1, that's mind-boggling.
I can't even fathom that. Of even it takes three to make a streak. To have a streak of races where an average finish of 2.1 is impressive, let alone an 18-race span.
I know. It's like I said, it's mind-boggling.
Well, in order to get that, Connor Zilisch finished first or second in half of the 30 races this season. 15 of them have been first or second.
And he's won 8 of the last 12 races this season, the most in any 12-race span in series history. He's breaking records left and right.
Almost like Yep, almost like Corey Haim in the Truck Series. And that's based off of this. The total, Connor Zilisch has won 33% of his starts, and that's the best win percentage all time.
And Connor Zilisch led in his last 18 Xfinity Series starts. That's the record for the most consecutive starts. Leading is the closest to it now is 22 by Brad Keselowski.
And we already know his future is he's moving to Trackhouse Racing in the Cup Series next year and going to be paired with Randall Burnett, who came from Kyle Busch. So, again, we're talking about him tying and breaking some records of Kyle Busch. He's going to have his former crew chief with him next year.
And Junior Motorsports won 17 races this season with a series record 6 different drivers. That does not include Parker Kligerman, who won the race in a relief role at the Summer Daytona race.
And Junior Motorsports has had at least one car finish in the top 5 in a record 32 straight races.
And more on Justin Allgaier. He earned his 300th career top 10 at Las Vegas. He's the first driver in series history to reach 300 top 10s. I'm so happy for Justin Allgaier in that regard.
We knew that was pretty much going to come hopefully this season. He did it already here at Las Vegas.
Yes.
Now we got to go back to Connor Zilisch, and this is just a recap of his whole year. He leads the series with 10 wins, 19 top 5s, 21 top 10s, 985 laps led, a 7.7 average finish, and 8 poles on the year.
I've never seen a rookie with those kind of stats in their first season.
No, not at all.
All right. Now, Connor Zilisch has also won that fastest lap award now 7 times. Justin Allgaier is second with 5 fastest lap awards.
But it's Justin Allgaier that leads the series as far as the stage wins, with 13 of them on the year.
And Justin Allgaier has 28 career wins, and that's 9th on the all-time wins list. And he's just 1 away from tying Matt Kenseth. It would be great to see him get that 10th win this year. I hope
it would be. Yeah, that one is a little bit tighter than the top 5 and top 10 finish we were talking about, but still could be done. What we got to look at now is manufacturer. Chevrolet has led 3,583 of the 4,770 laps this season, and that is 77%.
And Chevrolet won 24 of 30 races, which is tied for the most all-time by manufacturers through 30 races in a season in series history.
Some shout outs to crew chiefs. We got 5 crew chiefs who got their first Xfinity Series win in 2025. Chad Haney did so at Atlanta. Sam McCauley at Darlington. Adam Wall picked up the victory at Bristol. Corey Shea in Mexico City. And then Dale Earnhardt Jr. as the crew chief at Pocono.
And 5 races this year have ended with a last lap pass. So will they be able to do that at Talladega? Time will tell. But we've got some clinch scenarios here too.
Yeah, and it's all about points. Again, nobody is clinched based on a win or locked in at this point. So if there's a repeat winner or a win by a driver who cannot advance to the next round, drivers need to be 57 points above the 4th winless driver in the standings. The same would be true if the new win comes from among Connor Zilisch, Justin Allgaier, or Jesse Love, your top 3. For Connor Zilisch to do so, he would clinch with 39 points. Justin Allgaier and Jesse Love can only do so with a little bit of help. Again, I really see Connor Zilisch clinching via points, if not a win, this weekend.
Yeah, I do too.
Now, if the new winner is from Sam Mayer, another winless driver lower in the standings, but still eligible to advance to the next round, then you would have to have 57 points above the 3rd winless driver in the standings. And there, Connor Zilisch would need 51 points, and Justin Allgaier, the only other one that could, and he would need some help. Any driver, though, can pick up a win, and that includes Zilisch, Allgaier, Jesse Love, Sam Mayer, Brandon Jones, Sheldon Creed, Carson Kvapil, or Sammy Smith. Kvapil and Smith, I think, are kind of looking at that must-win scenario. Creed and Jones, they're in that neighborhood.
Yes, they are. Okay, so let's go ahead and cover the points report here.
All right. When we look at it, again, right now, Connor Zilisch is actually 38 points above Justin Allgaier. Allgaier still has 26 points above Jesse Love. So those two are pretty secure and comfortable. Jesse Love at 30.62 is in third. Fourth is Sam Mayer at 30.50. That's 12 points behind him. That's where the cut line rests right now. Brandon Jones at 30.42 is 8 points behind him. Just mentioned Sheldon Creed. He's getting a little into that must win, as from Mayer at the cut line, he is 21 points back, but only 13 behind Brandon Jones. And then Carson Kvapil is one more point back at 30.28. Sammy Smith at 30.26 is 2 more back. So again, you're looking at the 4th spot, that cut line. Sam Mayer at 30.50. Sammy Smith is looking at a 24-point deficit. Making up 24 points in and of itself, not so hard. But you got to remember, they got to gain that on these other drivers. And for Sammy Smith, he's got to gain and jump over 4 drivers to get to that point. Can be done, but I would not be putting your money on that as far as the bank.
When you think about the owners' points, in addition to the drivers racing to secure themselves into the championship 4, I'm looking at the owners' points here right now. There is a big contest going on here between 4th and 5th in Richard Childress Racing. Jesse Love has that 5th place spot, and he's just 2 points behind the 21 from Richard Childress Racing. So I think that's going to be hotly contested.
Yeah, and I say, learning that as we talked about it early, reading through the notes, not realizing that those 21 playoff points came only from the driver and not the owner's championship. So, yeah, that certainly does change that up in an interesting, if you follow that, which, is always an interesting storyline to follow. We have seen it in the past of the split championship. A driver wins it, but an owner, when you have a part-time team like Joe Gibbs Racing, and they got a dominant team and had a lot of different good drivers come through there, Eric Almirola going to try and finish it out for them.
Yes, indeed. Okay, well, do watch for more coming soon from Fan for Racing Radio. Jay and I have done the Truck Series preview, now the Xfinity Series. One more to go, and that's the Cup Series preview for Talladega. And those should be published sometime between Thursday and Friday. Then also on Friday, Taz and I will sit down and do the fantasy report on Friday morning to help you with your fantasy picks at Talladega. And that's going to be interesting because it's kind of like throwing everything up in the air and seeing what sticks. It's going to be fun to see how that comes out. And then on the other side of the race weekend, we'll have all the reviews for the 3 races that Jay and I are previewing, as well as our Hot Topic Sound Off at 10 p.m. Eastern Time here on Fan for Racing Radio. That is a live stream, and we do have a live chat available as well. So we hope fans will interact with us throughout that live stream.
Certainly do. And again, I think Talladega has a tendency to provide some hot topics when it comes to that. So I know we've heard this in the past. If you were at the race, by all means, provide your feedback and thoughts from the racetrack. We would love to hear that.
And I know Chris is going to the race this weekend as well.
Yep.
And so I'm kind of looking forward to hearing what Chris has to say as well. And then, of course, we cannot leave without saying thank you to everybody for tuning in. No matter whether you're watching, before or after the race, it doesn't matter. You can hear what our thoughts were before the race here with our previews. And we really appreciate everybody taking the time to tune in. So with that, Jay, I think we're ready to move on to our next video.
All right. Appreciate it. Talk to you soon.